Oh. C'est un ou une altère?
J'ai trop envie d'aller aux toilettes. Un ou une toilette?
Et bon après-midi. C'est un ou une après-midi? So if you're not able to tell me what is the gender of these nouns, well, this video is for you. Bonjour tout le monde, I'm Cassie, your French tutor, so you can discover France the French way. And now is the perfect time to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're serious in learning French and discovering France. So today we're diving into the gender of French nouns. And I know it can be tricky. My students, they hate it, and I'm pretty sure you do too, but it's okay. Even though there is no magical spell to recognize if a word is masculine or feminine, well, I have a few tricks for you so you can recognize them. Alors, t'es prêt? On y va. So, why do nouns have a gender in French? So in French, first of all, you have two genders, masculine and feminine. You know that there are languages, like German, they even have a third gender, neutral, but we don't in French. So what are they used for? Well, it is only a grammatical gender, okay? So I'm not saying, for example, that la plante is a woman, no, or even a female, like, I don't know about plants. I'm just saying that the grammatical gender is feminine. So for example, imagine I'm talking about la table et le bureau. Okay? One is feminine, the other is masculine. A bit later, I'm saying that elle est petite. Well, what am I talking about? You automatically know that I'm talking about the table because it is feminine. Petite agrees in gender and number, actually. With that E at the end, petite, it is feminine. So I'm talking about the table. I'm not saying that it is necessary to be understood. Of course, there are languages, they don't have genders and it's absolutely fine, but that's how French evolved. And it's also important for you to learn the genders whenever you can. And that's why, for example, when I give you vocabulary, I will always add the article in front of it. So you know, and you can learn the gender at the same time as the word itself. So why is it important? Well, to be fair, if you're talking to French people, they will understand what you mean, even if you're mistaking the gender. But, you know, it's still a grammar mistake, and I know you want to feel confident when you speak French, so let's try to avoid this mistake. And it's important mostly with pronouns, article, adjectives, but also past participles. So if I see a word, how do I know if it is masculine? The best way to see the gender of a noun is with the article. Before a noun, you always have an article, or most of the time. You have exceptions, of course. Come on, otherwise it's not French. But when you can see the article, mostly if the word is singular, that's how you know the gender. So for masculine, it will be le, definite article, so you know specifically which one you're talking about. Le bureau, so I'm talking about this one there that you don't see. Or un bureau, just like number one. So this one is indefinite. I'm talking about a desk. But when you do not see the article, or you don't hear it, or maybe the word is plural. For example, les haltères, les toilettes, most of the time we use it in the plural form. So it can be confusing, I understand. What you want is to look at the ending of the word. There are a few endings, you pretty much know that, yeah, it is for masculine words. For people, can be the job, can be how they are in life. If they end with er, yeah, you're talking about a man. For example, un auteur, un farceur. So we also have âge, isme, voir, consonant, and on. I swear it makes sense. And ment. So as an example, you have le voyage, âge, le miroir, le papillon, le bâton, see, consonant, and on, le médicament. So even though you see these words in plural form, trust me, they're most likely masculine. Les médicaments, well, it is les, but still masculine. Another thing would be the point of a compass. So, le nord, le sud, l'est, l'ouest, but also anything related to the date. Le jour, le mois, even the season, that would be le printemps. Then it is L with an apostrophe, so it's not clear, but trust me, they're all masculine. Even countries in French have a gender. So anything that does not end with E, the letter E, it is very likely to be masculine. For example, le Portugal. There are exceptions though. Le Cambodge, le Mexique, le Zimbabwe. For the rest, all feminine. And that's what we're going to talk about now. C'est un alter masculine. And on the other hand, if I see a word, how do I know if it is feminine? So now, feminine words. Well, first we look at the articles. For definite article, the, remember, it would be la. La table. Indefinite, une table. And just like before, we focus on the ending of the word, okay? So you will have tris, euse, s. All that it is when you're talking about people. So, une autrice, une coiffeuse, une maîtresse. But if you see that it ends with double consonant and then an E, it is very likely to be feminine too. Une baguette, I think it is the most famous one. Une baguette, feminine. Une échelle, double L, double consonant, E, une échelle, feminine too. You also have like fields of knowledge, l'astronomie, la géographie, ending with IE for most of them, feminine. La médecine, la science, all that, feminine too. And as I said before, countries also have a gender. So for feminine, anything ending with the E, well, except, remember, Mexique, Cambodge, Zimbabwe, all of them, they are feminine. La France, la Pologne, la Colombie, etc., etc. But regions, continents, they're also most likely feminine.
Et c'est une toilette féminine, though mostly used in plural form.
So wait, really? Neutral does not exist in French? To be fair, well, even though they are not nouns, neutral kind of exists in French. So you've probably seen it. Ce, ceci, cela. It's always neutral. But when you make it agree in gender, that would be like masculine. C'est beau. No matter what you're talking about, masculine. It defaults to masculine. Other than that, you have words. They can have one gender or the other, depending on the context and the article. For example, un enfant, you're talking about a boy, but une fille, you're talking about a girl. And you also have animals that never change the gender. Even though you're talking about a male or a female specifically, you always use the same article. And you can notice that with French speakers speaking English, they tend to make a few mistakes, with pronouns, etc. So for example, for a spider, well, we tend to say she, because une araignée is always feminine. But le papillon is always masculine. Remember, consonant on, le papillon, masculine. So what if I want to talk about a male spider or female butterfly? Well, une araignée, mâle, un papillon, femelle. Yeah, a lot of words, but that's how it works. And there are also words, well, they don't have the same meaning if it is masculine or feminine. And for that, let me give you an example. You have le livre, and I'm pretty sure you know this one, it is the book. Le livre, masculine. But la livre, well, it is the British currency, the pound. See? Same word, but different article, different meaning. Et c'est un et une après-midi. Both are possible. So remember, it takes time to get a hang of it. And sometimes even French people, we make mistakes. It's absolutely okay. So once again, I'm talking about the grammatical gender, and it is extremely tricky for people, for example. French is a very gendered language, so it becomes quite difficult to address, well, everything on the spectrum for people, because we're more than binary, right? But the language evolved, and it's already evolving a bit, even though people tend to fight against it. It happens, trust me, it's evolving. But about that, I think I will make an entire video. And for now, I just recommend that you review the articles, you review the end of the words. It is a lot to learn, but I trust you, no problem. And if you want to make sure that you're not making any other advanced mistakes, I recommend this video next. And if you enjoyed this video, you can give it a thumbs up and tell me in the comment if there is a word that you always get the gender confused. Like for me, for example, toilette, I always gender it masculine when it is feminine. Donc à la semaine prochaine. Salut!